Hey guys, my name's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. So, like I said, my name's Nicole and I'm an addict. My sobriety date is July 13th of 2015, and I also utilize a medically assisted treatment program. I have been on Suboxone for about 3 years. And what I want to talk to you guys about today is I want to talk to you about being miserable in sobriety. I want to talk to you about not feeling good on the inside, even though you got sober. So my friend Avalon, you guys know her, she makes videos, and she just got done uploading a video about how there's a lot of different pathways to recovery and about having compassion for others, you know, because we all have our different paths that we're taking. So it's just, you know, we have to be mindful and respectful of each other, which I totally agree with. But she also talked about something in there that I can totally relate to. And so I wanted to share with you guys my experience. So what she talked about is being in recovery and still being miserable. Like being sober and still having that restless, irritable, and discontentness. And if you guys don't know that, they call it the RIDS, okay? And that's restless, irritable, and discontent. So as addicts, as people who suffer from the disease of addiction, we are restless and irritable and discontent at our core. When we are not using drugs or alcohol to change us, to change the way we feel, we are restless, irritable, and discontent. And the only way we can rid ourselves of that restless, irritable, and discontent feeling is to build our spiritual connection with our higher power and get out of our own selfish minds. I used to really struggle a lot with being miserable because what would happen is I would get in my mind and I would allow my mind to take control. I would allow my mind to tell me that I'm never going to make it. I would allow my mind to tell me that I'm not good enough. I would allow my mind to tell me that there's no point in staying sober. Why don't I just relapse and get high? Because I'm going to anyway. Have you ever told yourself that? Have you ever told yourself, fuck it, I might as well I'm not going to make it anyway? Yeah, well, that's what I would do to myself. I would tell myself that I'm never going to make it, so I might as well do it. I might as well use. And that restless, irritable, and discontentedness would build up and build up and build up and build up until I would just bust. Well, I want to share with you guys what I do to deal with the RIDS. I want to share with you guys what I do when I'm feeling that overwhelming restlessness, that overwhelming irritability, that overwhelming discontentment. When I'm feeling like that, I help somebody. And you're probably going, Nicole, you've told us this a million times. When you feel bad, you go and do service work. Yada, yada, yada. Well, it's a simple fix for a big problem. You know, when I'm struggling with feeling the RIDS, feeling restless, irritable, and discontent, I get out of my own way and I go help someone else. I go be of service to someone who needs to find hope. I go spread that message. I go share with somebody how far I've came in 3 years. You know what I mean? And that helps me so much, you guys. Now, I do understand that there's a lot of us who struggle from trauma, PTSD. Maybe we were abused or molested or raped as children, beaten. Let me just tell you, let me share with you guys. I have been in 2 very, very abusive relationships. I'm talking to the point where I got my ass beat every day. I'm talking to the point where he would beat me so bad that I ended up in the hospital, unable to stand up, because every time I would stand up, my head was so concussed that I would fall back over automatically. I couldn't gain my equilibrium. That's how bad my concussion was. And so I have a lot of trauma from relationships, of being in abusive relationships. So I can totally understand what it's like to feel that overwhelming, like, almost like afraid, like I need to run. I'm scared, especially when I get around a man that I don't know and that I'm not familiar with, and they make me feel uncomfortable. I will, like if I'm at a grocery store, I'm with Nate and we're alone and it's dark and I'm walking to my car, my heart will start pumping and I'll get scared, like somebody's gonna follow me or something, you know? So the things that I've done to work on that PTSD from being beat in those relationships is I've been working my ass off in therapy, you guys. I've been working my ass off, going to therapy, sharing with my therapist, like how I'm feeling each day, and being fucking honest about it. Opening up and being honest about what I'm going through has been one of the biggest assets to me in my recovery today. I also journal, okay, every day I journal. Let me grab my mindfulness journal. Okay. I've been working out of this mindfulness journal every day. Some days I just go in there and I write down stuff that I'm feeling, you know. But I'm telling you right now, you guys, addicts and alcoholics, we have a void inside of us. We have a spiritual void. Look up the word malady, okay? That's what they say. It's like a spiritual void that we have inside of us. And if we don't fill ourselves with some type of purpose, then we will be miserable, okay? All of our lives. We will continue to be miserable. So, for Avalon, I wanted to make this video because I want Avalon to find herself something that she can focus on as a purpose, something that gives her passion, something that gets her excited about her recovery. And I truly think that if she can do that and find something that she gets excited about, something that she's passionate about doing, then that will help her with that restless, irritable, and discontentment, that miserable feeling in recovery. Because in recovery, everything's not going to be perfect. Like, our lives are still going to be, we're still going to have, you know, like, shit go down. Bad shit will still happen. Like, we'll have car accidents. We could get fired from our job in recovery. We could, you know, get a divorce or lose our significant other in recovery. Like, just because we get sober doesn't mean life is going to stop. Just because we quit doing dope doesn't mean everybody and everything is going to treat us differently. Like, we have to earn our way, and we have to work hard in our recovery to get out of this miserable feeling. You know what I mean? And so I really think that, like, therapy, I'm telling you, Avalon, that has been the greatest thing that I've ever done, is get involved with my therapist and see them as much as I can afford. Like, if I could go to my therapist every single week, I would. But I can only go once a month. I used to go 2 times a month, and that was amazing. Just being able to sit down and talk with somebody has helped me to process through a lot of those feelings that I felt because of the abuse that I experienced. Because for me, as a survivor of abuse, I always thought it was my fault. I always thought I deserved to be treated that way. So if you're struggling and you're miserable and you're sober, if you're struggling in your recovery and you're miserable in sobriety, I want you to know that there are things that you can do to get out of that miserable state. Every day is not going to be perfect. That's not life. Life isn't perfect. And we've got to stop comparing ourselves to other people and thinking, oh, well, look at that person. Their life must be perfect. Because let me tell you something. No one's life is perfect, you guys. Nobody has it all figured out. We're all just trying to make it one day at a time. But I can tell you, helping people, being of service, journaling, going to therapy, getting yourself a conscious contact with your higher power, and making sure that you spend time with that higher power every day. When you wake up in the morning, ask yourself this: Am I doing my prayer? Am I doing my meditation? Am I connecting with my higher power? Am I making a conscious decision each day to wake up and to do the next right thing and live in recovery that day? You know, it's really important that we wake up with our mind and our heart set on the day and ready for gratitude. You know, we have to live our lives in that grateful state, because if we wake up and we're negative and we're upset and we're, you know, just looking at all the things that we don't have and all the things that we do want to do, you know, instead of saying, I'm going to accomplish this. This is what I'm setting my eye on the prize. You know, it's easy to get sucked into negativity, especially, you know, when it's something that we've been so used to practicing for so long. So just like we practice staying sober and doing the right thing and working our steps and reading our literature and going to meetings and calling our sponsor, all those things that we've practiced, we have to practice positive thinking. We have to practice positive affirmations. We have to practice self-love and self-care. We have to learn, I have to learn that I am enough. I don't have to be anybody else. You know why? Because I'm Nicole. I don't have to compare my life or compare my recovery to anybody else's. Because you know what? I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And so are you. You're right where you're supposed to be. You're right where God wants you to be. Okay? Everything is just perspective, you guys. All right? You've got to change your perspective. Sure, it's okay to have bad days, but don't let yourself linger in the shitty days. Don't let yourself linger in negativity. Don't let yourself just sit there and mope around and feel bad for yourself and think about how miserable your life is and think about all the things that you haven't accomplished. Because while you're sitting there, sitting in your miserableness, there's someone out there who is dying from addiction. There's someone out there who needs us to share a message of hope. So while we're sitting here feeling bad for ourselves, people are dying every single day. And it's our duty as people in recovery to share that message of hope and to help somebody else. So get out of your own head, get out of your own way, reach out, help somebody, and be of service. I'll talk to you guys later, and I hope y'all have a great day.